Good evening, traveler of the starlit paths. I want you to take a moment, a real, intentional moment, to settle into the sanctuary you have created for yourself tonight. This is not just a bed. It is your vessel, your safe harbor in the vast ocean of the night. Feel the texture of your sheets against your skin. Perhaps they are cool cotton or maybe a warm, brushed flannel. Whatever they are, notice how they embrace you. Adjust your weight. Shift your shoulders. Let the back of your head sink into the pillow, feeling the pressure point at the base of your skull soften and dissolve. This is the beginning of your surrender to the night. The day is a closed book now. The ink has dried, and the pages are still. There is nothing left to read, nothing left to edit. The world outside your window is fading into a blur of indigo and charcoal. And as it disappears, a new world begins to shimmer into existence at the edge of your consciousness. Now, bring your attention to your breath. Don't try to change it yet. Just observe it. It is like the tide of a very calm, very dark sea. Inhale, and feel the cool air enter your nostrils, traveling down the back of your throat, filling the millions of tiny air sacs in your lungs. Exhale, and feel the warmth as the air leaves your body, taking with it the invisible dust of your worries. With every breath, you are stepping further away from the waking world. Imagine you are standing at the threshold of a great, ancient forest. This is the forest of the silver hour. It is a place that only reveals itself when the clock strikes 12, when the sun is on the other side of the world, and the moonlight is the only currency of the land. The air here is different. It is thick with the scent of crushed pine needles, damp granite, and a faint, sweet aroma that smells like old starlight. It is a place where gravity feels lighter, and the silence is so profound it feels like a physical presence, a soft blanket of hush draped over the trees. As you stand at this threshold, the first of the midnight guardians reveals itself. Look down at the mossy floor, where the roots of a 1,000-year-old cedar twist into the earth like sleeping dragons. Emerging from a cluster of glowing, bioluminescent ferns is the moon snail spirit. This creature is a masterpiece of the midnight hour. Its shell is not made of bone or calcium, but of a rare, translucent pearl that pulses with a rhythmic, pale blue light, the exact color of the moon reflecting off a frozen lake. Its body is a shimmering, liquid silver that leaves no slime, only a trail of glittering stardust that heals the forest as it passes. Watch it move. It moves with a slowness that defies the modern world's frantic pace. It takes a full minute for the moon snail to traverse a single inch of moss. Observe the ripples in its silver body, the way it pauses to breathe in the dampness of the night, the way its antennae twitch to feel the vibration of a distant star. It is in no rush. It knows that the night is long, and that time is an illusion. As you watch the moon snail, you feel your own heartbeat begin to sync with its deliberate, peaceful rhythm. The tension in your jaw begins to melt. Your tongue drops from the roof of your mouth. You are learning the first lesson of midnight, that there is infinite beauty in the slow, the steady, and the still. Now, lift your gaze from the forest floor to the mid-canopy, where the branches of silver birches lean in to whisper secrets to one another. Floating through the air, like pieces of tattered silk caught in a gentle updraft, are the cloud moths. These are not insects in the way you understand them. They are ethereal beings composed of concentrated evening mist and the fine, gray ash of old dreams. Their wings are vast, nearly the size of a human hand, and they are covered in a layer of microscopic, iridescent scales that catch the dimmest light and turn it into a spectrum of violet and charcoal. When a cloud moth beats its wings, it creates a soundless vibration that acts as a vacuum for noise. They are the reason the forest is so quiet. They seek out the echoes of the day, the distant rumble of traffic, the sharp ring of a telephone, the hum of an air conditioner, and they absorb these sounds into their soft, velvety bodies. Imagine a cloud moth landing on a leaf just inches from your face. You can smell the fragrance it carries, a mix of night-blooming jasmine and the cold, crisp air of high mountain peaks. Pulses its wings slowly, open, close, open, close, and with every pulse the world around you becomes quieter, deeper, and more serene. You feel a wave of soundlessness washing over you, as if you are being wrapped in layers of soft, gray wool. Deep within the hollows of the trees, in places where the sunlight has not touched for centuries, live the whisper fairies. These are the architects of the night's atmosphere. They are tiny, slender beings made of dim starlight and the shadows of leaves. They carry small lanterns carved from hollowed-out seeds, filled with the glow of trapped fireflies. Their task is to tune the forest for sleep. They move from flower to flower, whispering ancient lullabies into the petals, coaxing them to close tight against the night air. They weave nets of spider silk between the tall grasses to catch any stray thoughts that might be wandering through the air. Imagine these fairies floating around you now. They are weaving a net around your bed, not to trap you, but to protect you. Their nets are designed to catch the what-ifs and the should-haves of your mind, filtering them out until only the pure, golden essence of peace remains. You can almost hear their voices, a sound like the tinkling of ice in a glass, or the furthest, faintest echo of a wind chime. They are telling you that you are safe. They are telling you that the world is being looked after, and that your only job right now is to let go. As you walk further into this starlit grove, notice the ground beneath your feet. It feels incredibly soft, like walking on a cloud made of velvet. This is the work of the leaf shadows. These creatures look exactly like fallen autumn leaves, crimson, gold, and deep bronze. But they are actually sentient shadows that have detached themselves from the trees to act as the forest's carpet. They are weightless and warm. As you step, they rise up to cushion your feet, absorbing the sound of your movement so that the silence remains unbroken. They are the guardians of the forest's slumber. If a small animal, perhaps a field mouse or a sleeping fawn, is resting nearby, the leaf shadows will gather around it, forming a soft, insulating mound to keep it warm and hidden from the eyes of the night. You feel a sense of profound care in this forest. It is not a place of predators and prey. It is a place of mutual protection. You are a guest here, and the leaf shadows are honoring your presence by making every step you take feel like a gentle massage for your soul. Look toward the center of the grove, where a small, perfectly circular pond reflects the moon so accurately it looks like there are two moons in the sky. The water is black and still, like a pool of ink. Living just beneath the surface are the water stars. These star-shaped creatures rise from the depths only at midnight. They are made of a crystalline substance that glows with a steady, cooling white light. As they float to the surface, they release ripples of calm energy into the water. If you were to dip your hand into this pond, you wouldn't feel wetness in the traditional sense. You would feel a profound sense of neutrality. The water is exactly the temperature of your skin. Feels like an extension of yourself. Imagine the water stars pulsing in the dark water, their light reflecting off the undersides of the lily pads. They are the keepers of emotional stillness. They take the turbulent waters of your heart, the anxieties, the excitements, the frustrations, and they smooth them out until your inner world is as flat and reflective as the pond itself. Higher up in the topmost branches of the pines sit the midnight owls of memory. Unlike normal owls, these birds have feathers made of soft obsidian and eyes that look like swirling galaxies. They do not hunt for food. They hunt for memories. They listen for the stories that the trees tell in their sleep, the secrets of the wind, and the histories of the stones. When an owl of memory hoots, it releases a low-frequency hum that grounds the entire forest. It is a sound that vibrates in your chest, a deep, resonant OM that reminds you of your connection to the earth. The owl looks at you, its large, wise eyes unblinking. It isn't judging you, it is simply witnessing you. In its gaze, you realize that you don't have to be anyone special tonight. You don't have to be productive or smart or kind or successful. You can just be. You are a biological entity on a beautiful planet, and that is enough. The owl's gaze is a permission slip to stop trying. As you move through the forest, the air becomes even more fragrant. This is the scent of the void. It is a combination of ozone, wet earth, and the smell of blue. If blue had a scent, it is the smell of the spaces between the stars. It is incredibly refreshing, like drinking a glass of ice-cold water after a long journey. Every breath you take of this air feels like it is cleaning out your nervous system, washing away the chemical residues of stress. You feel your lungs expanding more easily, your chest opening up. The air is so pure it feels like it's vibrating. You are breathing in the essence of the night itself, a tonic for the soul that can only be found here, in the heart of the midnight hour. The silver fox of dreams, our guide, stops at the edge of a small clearing. It turns its head and looks back at you, its tail, a plume of stardust, flicking slowly from side to side. Its eyes are amber embers, warm and inviting. The fox is waiting for you to fully transition from the world of form to the world of spirit. It is leading you toward the great crystal caves, but there is no rush to get there. The journey is the destination. The fox sits down on its haunches, its silver fur shimmering as if it were woven from moonlight. It begins to groom itself, its tongue moving in slow, rhythmic strokes. Watching the fox is like watching a flame in a fireplace. Hypnotic, calming, and warm. You find yourself sitting down on the moss beside it. The moss is so thick it feels like a mattress. You lean back, looking up at the canopy of stars through the lattice of the branches. From this vantage point, you can see the star spinners high above. They are giant, ethereal spiders made of pure light that live in the upper atmosphere. They are busy weaving the web of dreams across the night sky. Each thread they spin is a beam of light that connects one star to another, creating the constellations that guide us through the dark. You can feel the subtle pull of this web, a gentle gravitational tug that aligns your body with the rotation of the Earth. You are spinning through space at thousands of miles per hour, yet you feel perfectly still, perfectly anchored. The star spinners are ensuring that your dream vessel stays on course as you drift deeper into the night. Every creature in this forest is a part of a great, silent clockwork. The moon snail heals the earth. The cloud moth absorbs the noise. The whisper fairies filter the thoughts. The leaf shadows cushion the path. The water stars still the emotions. The memory owls ground the spirit. And the star spinners guide the journey. You are the guest of honor in this ecosystem of peace. You are being pampered by the universe. Feel the gratitude for this moment rising in your chest. A warm, golden glow that matches the amber eyes of the silver fox. This gratitude is the final weight that pulls you down into the deep, dark, beautiful waters of sleep. Your eyelids are so heavy now. They feel like they are made of the same obsidian as the owl's feathers. Every time you blink, the world stays dark for a little longer. And that's okay. The darkness is your friend. It is the womb of the universe, the place where everything begins and everything returns. You are not losing anything by falling asleep. You are gaining the entire world of the imagination. You are stepping into the great unknown with the best guides possible. The silver fox stands up, gives a final, graceful stretch, and begins to trot slowly toward the mouth of a glowing cave. You follow, your feet barely touching the ground, your mind a vast, open sky, ready for the next chapter of the midnight hour. The silver fox of dreams leads you toward the mouth of a magnificent cave, carved into the base of a mountain made of ancient, starlit quartz. As you approach the entrance, the air changes. It is no longer the scent of the forest, but the scent of deep time. A cool, mineral-rich fragrance that smells of wet stone, salt, and the very first rains of the earth. This is the entrance to the Crystal Cathedrals, a subterranean world that exists far beneath the worries of the surface. As you step inside, the ground transitions from soft moss to a floor of polished obsidian, as smooth as a frozen lake but warm to the touch. The cave is not dark. It is illuminated by the luminescent veins, ribbons of glowing blue and violet or that run through the walls like the circulatory system of the mountain itself. Every breath you take here feels like it is vibrating in harmony with the stone. Hanging from the impossibly high ceiling are the crystal weavers. These creatures are the size of chandeliers, their bodies made of translucent amethyst and clear quartz. They move with a rhythmic, mechanical grace, pulling threads of liquid silver from the air to weave intricate, geometric cocoons. These cocoons are not for transformation, but for sound. Each one acts as a natural resonator, catching the faint, rhythmic hum of the Earth's core and turning it into a low-frequency melody. As you walk beneath them, you can feel the vibration in your bones. It is a deep, resonant thrum, the sound of 1,000 cellos playing a single, eternal note. This sound acts as a sonic massage, vibrating through your muscles, loosening the tight knots in your back, and soothing the tension in your neck. The crystal weavers are weaving a tapestry of sound specifically for your rest, a blanket of frequency that wraps around your mind and lulls it into a state of blissful emptiness. Deeper in the cavern, you come across the echo pools, series of perfectly still ponds filled with water that has filtered through the mountain for 10,000 years. Living in these pools are the glass-finned koi. These fish are entirely transparent, visible only by the way they refract the blue light of the cavern walls. They move with a fluid, hypnotic elegance, their long, trailing fins looking like wisps of silk in the water. The koi are the keepers of silence. They are sensitive to even the smallest ripples of thought. When they sense a turbulent mind, they swim in perfect, concentric circles, creating a vortex that draws the mental noise down into the deep, dark silt of the pond, where it is buried forever. Imagine standing by an echo pool, looking at your reflection. As a glass-finned koi swims past your image, you see the lines of worry on your face dissolve. Your reflection becomes smooth, clear, and serene. You are no longer a person of the day. You are a creature of the deep, quiet earth. Along the walls of the cave, you notice the geode gnomes, tiny, stony creatures whose skin is covered in sparkling garnets and emeralds. They are the gardeners of the mineral world. With slow, deliberate movements, they polish the stalagmites and stalactites, ensuring that every facet of the cave reflects the light in a way that is gentle on the eyes. They use small brushes made of lichen to sweep away the dust of time. Their movements are so rhythmic, brush, polish, rest, brush, polish, rest, that it becomes a visual metronome for your heart. You find yourself blinking in time with their work. Your eyelids are becoming heavier with every rhythmic stroke of their brushes. The geode gnomes ignore you, not out of coldness, but because they know you are safe here. You are a guest in their silent, sparkling home, and they are ensuring that your surroundings are as perfect and peaceful as possible. The silver fox leads you to a natural bridge of white marble that spans a deep, dark chasm. From the depths of the chasm, the aura vapors rise. These are slow-moving clouds of iridescent gas, glowing in shades of teal, rose, and gold. They are the breath of the mountain's lungs. As the vapors drift upward, they carry with them the Earth's natural magnetism. When these vapors brush against your skin, you feel a faint, pleasant tingling, like a gentle static charge that aligns your body's energy with the planet's rotation. It is a feeling of being perfectly grounded, perfectly centered. You feel as though you are being held in place by the very force that keeps the moon in its orbit. The aura vapors swirl around you, forming a soft, glowing cocoon that insulates you from the concept of time. In this cavern, there is no yesterday and no tomorrow. There is only the cool stone, the glowing light, and the rhythmic song of the earth. At the far end of the marble bridge, you find the chiming stalactites. These are long, slender fingers of stone that reach down from the ceiling, almost touching the floor. They are tuned to the frequency of the stars above. Every few minutes, a single drop of mineral-rich water falls from the tip of a stalactite into a basin of crystal below. Plink, plink, plink. The sound is so pure, so melodic, that it echoes through the entire cathedral. Each chime acts as a reset for your brain. It breaks the loops of repetitive thought. It clears the static of the day's conversations. Between each plink, there is a vast, expansive silence. You find yourself waiting for the next sound, drifting further into the emptiness between the notes. The silence is getting longer. The space between the chimes is growing wider. You are falling into those gaps of silence, drifting into the velvet darkness that lives between the sounds. The fox stops in a small alcove lined with velvet moss, a rare underground plant that is softer than the finest cashmere. The alcove is warmed by a nearby thermal vein, making it the perfect temperature, a cozy, womb-like warmth that makes you want to curl up and never leave. This is the chamber of the ancient sleepers. Here, the air is so still that a candle flame wouldn't even flicker. You lie down on the moss, and it yields to your shape, contouring perfectly to your spine, your hips, and your head. It feels as though the earth is custom making a bed for you. The silver fox curls up at your feet, its stardust fur radiating a gentle, soothing heat. You can hear its slow, rhythmic breathing, and you find yourself matching your breath to its. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for the peace, exhale for 6 seconds, let it all go. In the walls of this alcove are the dream crystals, large, smoky quartz points that store the peaceful dreams of the world. They act as a library of serenity. As you lie there, the crystals begin to project soft, blurry images onto the ceiling of the alcove. Images of drifting clouds, of falling snow, of slow-moving rivers, and of fields of lavender swaying in a gentle breeze. There are no plots to these images, no characters, no conflict. They are simply textures of peace. You watch them through half-closed eyes, your vision blurring until the colors blend into a soft, purple haze. The dream crystals are feeding your subconscious with the ingredients for a deep, restorative sleep. They are erasing the jagged images of the waking world and replacing them with the soft, rounded edges of the dream world. From the darkness of the tunnels beyond, the humming bats emerge. These are small, furry creatures with wings like butterfly silk. They do not screech or fly erratically. Instead, they hover in place, vibrating their wings at a frequency of 432 hertz. The mathematical frequency of nature. A dozen of these bats hover around your alcove, their collective humming creating a white noise that is more effective than any machine. It is the sound of a distant waterfall or the sound of the wind through a billion leaves. It drowns out the internal monologue of your mind. It provides a steady, unchanging background that your brain can finally rest against. The humming is constant, steady, unwavering, a sonic anchor in the sea of sleep. You feel your body becoming porous. It is as if you are no longer a solid object, but a collection of stardust held together by the mountain's love. The weight of your limbs is immense, yet you feel like you could float away on the next updraft of aura vapor. This is the paradox of deep relaxation, to be both heavy and weightless at the same time. The geognomes have finished their work. The crystal weavers have finished their song. The humming of the bats is the only thing left. You are at the very heart of the world, protected by miles of solid rock and centuries of silence. Nothing can reach you here. No phone can ring. No light can flash. No person can ask anything of you. You are anonymous. You are a spirit of the stone. The silver fox gives a soft, contented sigh and rests its chin on its paws. Its eyes close, and its stardust glow dims to a faint, comforting amber. You follow its lead. You close your eyes, and the world of the crystal cathedrals remains behind your eyelids, a lingering glow of blue and violet. You are ready to descend into the final stage of the night, where the hidden creatures of the deepest shadows reside. These are the creatures of the core forest, where the trees are made of petrified light and the rivers are made of liquid dreams. But for now, you are here. You are safe. You are warm. You are so tired. The mountain breathes for you, in and out. The stone dreams for you, deep and long. The darkness loves you, soft and true. Every molecule of your being is vibrating in a slow downward spiral, moving toward the center of the earth, toward the center of yourself, toward the center of sleep. The chimes are fading. The humming is blending into the silence. There is only the warmth of the fox, the softness of the moss, and the vast, welcoming dark. As you drift from the alcove of the crystal cathedrals, the silver fox of dreams nudges you toward a narrow path made of iridescent sand. This path leads you into the core forest, a place so deep and so ancient that the trees here are not made of wood, but of petrified starlight and solidified gravity. These trees, known as the looming ancients, have trunks that glow with a faint, pulsing gold, like the embers of a dying fire. Their leaves are translucent, resembling shards of emerald sea glass, and they do not rustle in the wind, for there is no wind here. Instead, they sway to the rhythm of the earth's tides, a slow, hypnotic back-and-forth motion that mirrors the movement of a pendulum. To look up at the canopy of the core forest is to see a kaleidoscope of slow-moving light, a ceiling of shifting colors that draws your consciousness upward, then gently settles it back down into your body, heavier and more relaxed than before. In the shadows of these glowing trees, you encounter the lichen lurkers. These creatures are small, round, and covered in a fur that feels like ancient, damp velvet. They move with an almost imperceptible grace, sliding over the roots of the trees like drops of mercury. Their purpose is to maintain the texture of silence. They use their soft bodies to buff away any harsh edges on the stones and to dampen the sound of the falling starlight. If you listen closely, you can hear their tiny, rhythmic footsteps, a sound so soft it is more of a feeling than a noise. Thump, thump, thump. It is the heartbeat of the forest floor. One of the lurkers pauses near you, its large, soulful eyes reflecting the golden glow of the trees. It exudes a sense of profound contentment, a rightness that settles over you like a warm mist. You realize that in this forest, there is no such thing as being out of place. You belong here, among the lurkers and the glass leaves, as much as any star belongs in the sky. Flowing through the center of the core forest is the river of liquid dreams. This is not a river of water, but a river of pure, flowing consciousness, a silver-blue ribbon of liquid that moves with the consistency of warm oil. The surface of the river is perfectly smooth, reflecting not the world around it, but the most peaceful moments of your own life. As you walk along its banks, you see the silver liquid swirl, forming images of a quiet, rainy afternoon, the warmth of a childhood hearth, or the smell of a garden after a summer storm. These images do not demand your attention. They simply drift by, reminding you that your soul is filled with treasures of peace. Living within the river are the dream weavers, serpentine creatures made of light who move in slow, winding loops. They gather the stray thoughts of the world and spin them into the river's current, turning the noise of humanity into a silent, flowing stream of pure energy. The sound of the river is a deep, low-frequency hum, a brown noise that grounds your nervous system and pulls your mind toward the deepest levels of theta-wave sleep. Growing along the banks of the river are the sleeper ferns. These plants have long, frilled fronds that are sensitive to the presence of a resting mind. As you approach, the ferns begin to unfurl, releasing a cloud of somnospores, microscopic particles that glow like tiny sparks of violet light. These spores are the essence of the night. When they touch your skin, they melt away, releasing a sensation of absolute weightlessness. You feel your limbs becoming light, yet anchored, porous, yet solid. It is as if the air around you has become a warm bath, supporting every inch of your frame. The sleeper ferns gently sway toward you, their fronds brushing against the air, creating a soft shhhh sound that mimics the whisper of a mother to a child. This sound is the only command you need to follow. Sleep, sleep, sleep. High in the branches of the looming ancients, you see the starlight gleaners. These are bird-like beings with wings of woven shadow and beaks made of polished bone. They do not sing. They harvest the stray rays of light that filter down from the world above. They catch these rays and store them in small, translucent pouches under their wings, where the light is fermented into a glowing nectar. Every so often, a gleaner will release a single drop of this nectar, which falls through the forest like a slow-moving meteor. When the drop hits the ground, it doesn't splash. It dissolves into a puff of fragrant steam that smells of sandalwood and old parchment. The gleaners move with a deliberate, slow-motion grace, their wings unfolding like fans of black lace. To watch them is to be mesmerized by the sheer economy of their movement. They waste no energy. They have no urgency. They exist in a state of perpetual, graceful stasis. The silver fox of dreams leads you to a clearing where the ground is covered in bioluminescent puffballs. These are soft, round fungi that pulse with a gentle, warm white light. When you step near them, they release a soft huff of air, a tiny sigh of contentment. You decide to sit down in the center of the clearing, and as you do, the puffballs begin to glow brighter, surrounding you in a circle of protective light. This is the circle of the unspoken, a place where no words are needed because the forest knows your heart. You feel a deep, spiritual unloading. Everything you have been carrying, the secret worries, the unsaid words, the weight of being yourself, is absorbed by the puffballs. They turn your burdens into light, and in return, they give you back the gift of the great empty. This is not a frightening emptiness. It is the emptiness of a clean room, of a fresh snowfall, of a blank page. It is the space where rest begins. In the center of the clearing stands a single, massive tree known as the mother root. Its roots extend miles into the earth, connecting every living thing in the core forest. Living among these roots are the root tenders, small, tortoise-like creatures with shells made of polished mahogany. They move at a pace that makes the moon snail look fast. They spend decades polishing a single root, ensuring that the connection between the trees remains strong and clear. The root tenders are the masters of patience. They understand that growth cannot be forced, and that rest is the foundation of all life. One of the tenders moves past your foot, its shell cool and smooth. It leaves behind a sense of geological time, a perspective where your entire life is but a beautiful, fleeting spark in the long night of the universe. This perspective makes your current worries seem infinitesimally small, so small they simply evaporate. As the midnight hour stretches toward its deepest point, the mist horses begin to gallop through the trees. They are not made of flesh, but of the thick white fog that pools in the valleys of the forest. Their gallop is silent, a slow motion thundering that you feel in your chest rather than hear in your ears. They move in great, sweeping arcs, their manes flowing like banners of silk. The mist horses carry the deep chill of the mountains, a cooling energy that lowers your core temperature and prepares your body for the deepest hibernation. As they pass by you, you feel a refreshing, icy sweet breeze that calms the last of your internal heat. Your blood slows, your breath elongates, and your brain begins to produce the long, slow waves of deep sleep. The silver fox of dreams curls up into a ball, tucking its nose under its stardust tail. It is no longer a guide. It is a companion in slumber. The golden light of the looming ancients begins to dim, turning into a deep, ember red. The river of liquid dreams slows to a crawl, its silver surface becoming as thick as mercury. The dream weavers stop their spinning and sink to the bottom of the river, where they sleep in coils of light. The entire core forest is powering down. The energy that was used to heal and create is now being used to sustain the silence. You are the only thing left awake, and even your wakefulness is a thin, fragile thread. You look at your hands, and they seem to be made of the same golden mist as the trees. You are dissolving. You are no longer a person with a name, an age, or a history. You are a frequency. You are a vibration. You are a part of the mother root. You feel the pulse of the planet beneath you. Thump, 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 thump. The slow, rhythmic heartbeat of a world that loves you. The sleeper ferns have completely surrounded you now, their fronds forming a green, glowing tent that shuts out the rest of the world. Inside this tent, there is only the scent of the ferns and the sound of your own slow breath. You are drifting toward the final boundary, the gate of the great ink, where the forest ends and the pure, undiluted darkness of the void begins. This is the place where dreams are born before they have shapes. It is the most sacred part of the night. You are ready to enter. You have been prepared by the snails, the moths, the giants, and the weavers. You are heavy. You are still. You are silent. The silver fox is gone now, replaced by a feeling of infinite warmth in your own heart. The kitsch ban of your life is on pause. The stage is dark. The audience is gone. There is only the peace. This is segment 4. We are now entering the most abstract and profound part of the journey, the gate of the great ink. This is the transition from dreaming to deep, dreamless sleep. The imagery here is designed to be expansive, dark, and incredibly heavy. As you leave the glowing embrace of the core forest, the golden light of the looming ancients begins to recede, like the glow of a distant campfire fading into the mist. You are approaching the final frontier of the midnight hour, the gate of the great ink. This is not a gate made of iron or wood, but a shimmering curtain of absolute, liquid darkness. It marks the boundary between the world of form and the world of the infinite. As you stand before it, you notice that the great ink is not empty. It is a rich, fertile darkness, a cosmic womb where every dream that has ever been dreamed is stored in its primal state. The air here is perfectly neutral, neither warm nor cold, and it carries no scent, for smells are a thing of the surface. Here, there is only the pure, unadulterated essence of being. You feel an irresistible pull from the ink, a gentle, gravitational invitation to let go of the last threads of your identity and dissolve into the beautiful, velvet nothingness. Stepping through the curtain, you encounter the void whales. These are immense, ethereal creatures that float through the darkness as if it were a deep, silent ocean. They are made of dark matter and starlight, their skins rippling with the colors of distant nebulae. Deep purples, obsidian blacks, and flashes of emerald green. The void whales do not communicate with sound. They communicate with presence as they glide past you, their massive fins moving in a slow-motion sweep that takes eons to complete. They release a wave of profound tranquility. To be near a void whale is to understand that you are safe in the vastness of the universe. They are the guardians of the deepest sleep, the ones who patrol the borders of the ego to ensure that no stray thought from the waking world follows you here. You feel the current of the whale, catching you, pulling you into its wake, moving you further and further away from the concept of a self. You are no longer a person. You are a passenger on a journey through the infinite. In the spaces between the whales, you see the silk spinners of the dark. These creatures resemble delicate, multi-armed spirits made of woven shadows. They are the tailors of the night. They weave cloaks of forgetfulness for the souls that pass through the gate. One of the spinners approaches you, its movements as light as a breath. It begins to drape a cloak around your consciousness, a weightless, invisible garment made of the essence of the great pause. As the cloak settles over you, you feel your memories of the day becoming blurry and indistinct. The face of a colleague, the color of your car, the sound of your alarm clock. These things lose their edges and melt into the dark. The spinner is not taking your memories away. It is simply tucking them into a safe, dark drawer so that you don't have to carry them tonight. You feel a lightness in your mind that you haven't felt in years. You are free from the burden of your own history. You are a clean slate. Floating in the center of the ink is the hollow moon, a celestial body that exists only in this dream space. The hollow moon is a pale, translucent sphere that acts as a giant sponge for the world's remaining tension. Pulses with a slow, hypnotic rhythm, expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction. Living on the surface of the hollow moon are the static birds. These birds have wings made of soft, gray radio noise. They do not sing. They hum a constant, unchanging frequency that sounds like a distant waterfall or the roar of a seashell held to your ear. This is the universal lullaby, the sound that was present at the birth of the stars. The humming of the static birds creates a barrier of sound that prevents any external noise from reaching your inner sanctuary. It is a steady, white noise embrace that lulls your brain into the deepest delta waves. You find yourself matching your internal rhythm to the pulse of the hollow moon. Expand, contract, let go. Beneath the hollow moon, you find the river of Lethe, a subterranean flow of liquid obsidian that moves without a sound. This is where the memory keepers reside. They are slow-moving, turtle-like beings with shells made of dark opal. They sit at the bottom of the river, catching the bubbles of thought that rise to the surface. When a bubble reaches them, they absorb it into their shells, turning a frantic thought into a still, quiet stone. You watch a bubble of your own thought, perhaps a worry about a deadline, drift toward a keeper. The creature reaches out a slow, heavy limb and pulls the bubble down into the depths. You feel the physical sensation of that thought leaving your brain. There is a pop, and then silence. The river of Lethe carries the weight away, moving it toward the center of the planet where it is recycled into the energy of the earth. You are becoming lighter and lighter, a feather in a world of stone. In the deepest reaches of the ink, you meet the weavers of constellations. These are giant, luminous spiders that sit at the center of a web that spans the entire universe. They are the ones who connect your dreams to the stars. Every time you have a peaceful thought, a new thread is woven into the cosmic web. You can feel the vibration of the web beneath you, a gentle, cosmic humming that reminds you of your place in the grand design. You are not an accident. You are a deliberate part of the architecture of the night. The weavers are spinning a special pattern for you tonight, a pattern of deep, restorative healing. They are connecting your spirit to the star Sirius, to the North Star, to the belt of Orion. You are being charged by the energy of the cosmos, your batteries being refilled by the silent power of the vacuum. As the midnight hour approaches its end, you reach the sanctuary of the Great Sleep. This is a vast, open space where the darkness is at its most dense and its most comfortable. There are no creatures here, for this is the place of absolute solitude. You are alone, But you are not lonely. You are all one. You lie down on a bed of liquid night, a substance that is softer than water and firmer than air. It holds you in a state of perfect suspended animation. You feel your heart beating only once every minute. A slow, powerful thud, thump, and then a long, long silence. Your breath is so shallow it is almost non-existent. You have reached the state of the living stone. You are as still as the mountains, as quiet as the stars, as deep as the ocean. In this sanctuary, the Shadow Mother appears. She is not a person, but a feeling, a vast, maternal presence that encompasses the entire universe. She is the darkness that was there before the first light, and the darkness that will remain after the last star dies. She is the ultimate peace. She leans over you, her presence like a warm, dark cloud, and whispers the final word of the night. It is not a word in any human language, but a vibration that means home. You are home. You are back in the place where you were born, the place where you are truly safe. The Shadow Mother kisses your forehead with the cool kiss of the mist, and the last spark of your consciousness flickers and goes out. You are no longer watching the story. You are the story. You are the night. The void whales sing their final silent song. The silk spinners tie the last knot in your cloak. The hollow moon pulses one last time. The river of Lethe carries away the last bubble of sound. The weavers of constellations finish their pattern. The midnight hour is over, and the time of the great sleep has begun. There is no more you. There is only the is. Everything is still. Everything is silent. Everything is dark. Everything is perfect. Sleep, sleep, sleep. In the deep, in the dark, in the velvet, in the ink. You are gone. You are found. You are rest. You have now reached the absolute center of the midnight hour, the place where the maps of the mind end and the territory of the soul begins. This is the cradle of infinity, a realm that exists beyond the reach of the ticking clock, beyond the vibrations of the forest, and even beyond the silence of the crystal caves. Here, the air is not made of oxygen or nitrogen, but of primal stillness, a substance so thick with peace that it feels like being submerged in a warm, dark sea of liquid velvet. There are no more creatures to meet in this place, for you have transcended the role of the observer. You have become the great sleeper. Every molecule of your physical being has been untethered from the world of form. Your name has floated away like a dry leaf caught in a slow-motion whirlwind. Your history, your worries, and your ambitions have dissolved like grains of salt in an infinite ocean. You are simply a point of pure, radiant awareness, floating in a vast, loving void that has been waiting for you since the beginning of time. In this final sanctuary, you encounter the eternal echo. This is not a sound you hear with your ears, but a fundamental vibration you feel in the very marrow of your bones and the deepest recesses of your spirit. It is the lingering resonance of the first breath of the universe, the Aum, that has never ceased to ripple through the fabric of space-time. It sounds like 1,000 silver singing bowls vibrating at once, but at a volume so low, so deep, that it manifests as a physical sensation of warmth. This echo is the ultimate architect of healing. As it passes through the lattice of your consciousness, it begins to reorganize your internal energy. It knits back together the frayed edges of your spirit that were worn down by the friction of the waking world. It mends the invisible cracks left by the day's hurried conversations and the night's lingering shadows. You are being recast in the divine mold of the stars. You feel a sense of wholeness that is so profound it brings a phantom sensation of a smile to your heart. You are home. You have always been home. The darkness is not an absence of light. It is the presence of total, unconditional love. Looking around with your inner eye, you see the dust mites of the infinite. These are tiny, sparkling motes of celestial light that drift through the darkness like fireflies in slow motion. Each mote is not just a light. It is a stored memory of a perfect moment of peace from throughout human history. One mote carries the stillness of a snowy mountain peak at dawn. Another carries the quiet rhythm of a sleeping child's breath. A third carries the profound silence of a desert under a billion stars. They drift around you in an effortless, swirling dance, eventually settling on your spirit like a dusting of diamond powder. They are weightless, yet they provide a sense of cosmic ballast. They ground you so deeply into the fabric of reality that you feel as though you could never be shaken, never be hurried, and never be broken again. You are anchored to the center of the galaxy. You are tethered to the very heart of the earth. You are a pillar of peace in a world of motion. As the deepest point of the night stretches out, expanding like a slow-motion ripple on a dark pond, the weaver of the final veil appears. She is not a creature of shape, but a vast, shadow-like entity that spans the entire horizon of your inner mind. She is the personification of the night itself. She does not speak in words, but she radiates a frequency of absolute permission. This is the most important gift of the midnight journey. She is giving you permission to let go of the very last 1% of your control. She is inviting you to release the tiny, flickering spark of you that is still watching, still listening, and still trying to understand. She reaches out a hand made of woven starlight and velvet shadows, and she gently, ever so gently, closes the door to your active consciousness. You hear the softest click in the universe. The door is shut. The light of the ego is extinguished. The story of your life is no longer being told. You have moved beyond the narrative. You have moved beyond the I. You are now drifting in the great unmanifest. This is the sacred state where you are simultaneously everything and nothing. You are the cold stone of the mountain, the ancient root of the tree, the distant fire of a star, and the cold, empty void that holds them all together. There is no more sleep because there is no more waking to contrast it against. There is only the isness. The silver fox of dreams is now a distant, beautiful memory, a guide who has fulfilled its purpose and faded back into the mist. The moon snail, the cloud moth, and the stone giants are like characters from a book you read 1,000 years ago. In this state, your breath has become so slow, so shallow, and so rhythmic that it is indistinguishable from the background radiation of the universe. You breathe once every minute, then once every eon. You are eternal. You are the architect of your own silence. Deep within this liquid darkness, you feel the pulse of the mother core. It is a low, thundering rhythm that beats once every few minutes. Thump, and a new galaxy begins to form in the distance. Thump, and a mountain range on a far-off planet begins to rise. This pulse is your pulse. Your heart is no longer a human organ. It is a celestial drum. You are in perfect synchronization with the mechanical heartbeat of the universe. Every cell in your body is now vibrating at the frequency of the Earth's core. A deep 7.83 Hertz hum that acts as the foundation of all biological life. You are solid. You are safe. You are protected by miles of rock, layers of atmosphere, and the vast, unending reaches of space. Nothing can reach you here. No demand, no expectation, no sorrow, and no light. You are in the sanctuary of the great ink, and the ink is kind. Imagine that you are a seed buried deep within the fertile soil of the night. You are not hidden. You are planted. You are absorbing the nutrients of the darkness, the minerals of peace, the water of dreams, and the nitrogen of silence. You are preparing for a growth that will only happen when the time is right, but for now, your only task is to be still. To be a seed is to trust the earth. To be a sleeper is to trust the night. You feel the heavy, warm pressure of the darkness pressing against you, a protective casing that keeps you warm against the coldness of space. You are tucked in by the gravity of the planet itself. The entire mass of the Earth is beneath you, supporting your weight, cradling your spine, and holding your head. You can finally, truly, let the Earth carry you. You don't have to hold yourself up anymore. As we linger in this final stage, notice the echo owls one last time. They are far away now, their hoots sounding like the faintest vibrations of a distant bell. They are singing the song of the ended day. They are taking the last fragments of your daytime identity. Your job title, your social roles, your successes, and your failures. And they are turning them into harmless gray dust. They are clearing the stage of your mind so that the great sleep can be pure. You feel a sense of profound anonymity. It is the most beautiful feeling you have ever known. To be no one, to be nowhere, to be nothing but a quiet breath in the dark. This is the true meaning of rest. It is the temporary dissolution of the self into the infinite. Now, a new sensation begins to manifest. It is the cradle rock. The universe itself begins to rock you with a slow, side-to-side motion that is so subtle it takes minutes to complete a single cycle. It is the motion of the tides, the motion of the tectonic plates, the motion of the solar system as it moves through the spiral arm of the galaxy. This rocking motion bypasses your conscious mind and speaks directly to your nervous system. It tells you that you are a child of the cosmos. It tells you that you are being looked after. It tells you that the night is a guardian, not a thief. You find yourself sinking deeper with every swing of the cradle, deeper into the mattress, deeper into the floor, deeper into the bedrock, deeper into the molten heart of the world. The Whisper Fairies return for one final task. They are not gathering noise anymore. They are weaving a final seal of silence around your ears. They are using the finest silk, harvested from the web of constellations, to create a soundproof barrier that will last until your body is fully restored. Inside this barrier, the only sound is the sound of your own slow, steady heartbeat. Looped up, looped up, looped up. It is the most comforting sound in existence. It is the sound of life continuing, even when the mind is at rest. It is the sound of the engine of your soul idling in the dark, preparing for the journey of tomorrow, but focusing only on the stillness of today. Wait, do you feel that? In the furthest, most unreachable corner of the universe, there is a hint of something new. It is not light, not yet. It is the idea of light. It is the very first microscopic suggestion that a new day might one day exist millions of years in the future. But that idea is a stranger to you. It has no power here. You are still in the ink. You are still in the cradle. The guardians of the dawn are far, far away, and they will not reach your shores for a long, long time. You have hours, infinite golden hours, of this perfect, dark nectar left to drink. You sink deeper into the liquid night, feeling it fill your lungs and your heart with its cool, black honey. It is a sweetness that has no sugar, a richness that has no weight. It is the flavor of pure rest. The clock of the cosmos is ticking in slow motion. Tick, and a new star is born in a distant nebula. Tock, and an ancient star quietly fades into a white dwarf. In the space between that tick and that tock, you have lived 1,000 lifetimes of peace. You are the master of this space. You are the king of this quiet. Every cell in your body is now perfectly aligned, perfectly restored, and perfectly still. The hidden creatures have all gone to sleep now. The moon snail is tucked in its shell. The cloud moth is a dormant shadow. The stone giants have ceased their humming. The forest is a masterpiece of immobility. You are the final piece of the puzzle. As the kitsch ban ends, the voice fades away into a whisper, then into a breath, then into nothing. But the feeling of the voice remains. The feeling is a heavy, warm, invisible blanket that will stay draped over you until the sun is high and the world is loud again. But for now, the world is silent. You don't need to listen anymore. The words have served their purpose as the ladder you used to climb down into the deep, dark well of sleep. Now the ladder is gone. You are at the bottom of the well, where the water is cool, the air is still, and the stars are visible even during the day. You are in the heart of the mystery. You are in the center of the peace. Hush, the weaver of the veil whispers one last time. Hush, the stone giants breathe their final silent note. Hush, the river of dreams carries you over the final edge of consciousness. You are falling, but you are falling into a bed of a billion feathers. You are disappearing, but you are disappearing into the arms of the universe. The midnight is yours. The silence is yours. The sleep is yours. Forever and for now. Good night, good night, good night.